Right, point of order. Club health and welfare. Katie?
President Ken, how's it feel?
Nervous, but I'll survive.
If Miller retains, Kim asked me to make an announcement. She couldn't be here today, but she has an update on Eric. He is recovering from a series of multiple mini strokes and a subdural hematoma. He has been moved to Heritage Hall in skilled rehab. Ken got a card, so we will pass that. If you'll just make a nice note, we'll get it back to Ken to get it to him. But keep Eric in your thoughts and prayers.
Also, Greg Williams, a formal, there we go.
Yeah, I'd like to make you aware of a former DuPonter as well as member of this club, Greg Williams. I guess you'd say pass. I don't know any of the details, but Greg had, once he retired, he moved to Page County. And this past week, he was shot. Again, they're still looking. They've got a name. I can't imagine. Greg was a very active member of this club, chairman of a number of the committees, and just a great guy. He's been on the credit union board for years and was their current president. He'd been in that role for, I'm guessing, 10 years or so. So I just say to you, think about the family and what they're going through. It's, I'm sure, very difficult times. On a good note, okay, I just make you aware of Mark Bauer's son-in-law. He did have his kidney transplant. That's been about a month ago. He's doing great. And I think Mark is getting ready to come out of hiding, I called it. But since his son-in-law lives right next door and the grandkids come over, Mark has sort of been in hiding because he didn't want to catch anything. So that's some good news. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Does anybody have any other health or welfare for anyone? All right, birthdays and anniversaries. Now, Tom Dixon, 6/28 was his birthday. I don't know if that got announced or not, but we didn't have a meeting last week, so we're adding that in there. Also, Amy Ryman, 7/9 is her birthday. Today's birthday is Doug Staley. So if anybody sees him today or talks to him, today is his birthday.
I'll text him right now.
And we have spouse birthday, Christine, Andrea, Tim Maurer, and Joe Rawls, spouse birthdays. We also have Rotary anniversaries. Ron Llewellyn, 24 Rotary years. And we also have John Marlowe, 55. Sorry he's not here for his big happy anniversary. Make sure y'all reach out to John. That's a heck of a milestone there. Also, Katie, do you have any announcements for Camp Fantastic? Sorry, I didn't bring that for you earlier.
No, it's fine. If you want to pencil it in on your calendar for August, I'm in 24. Hold on. I think it's the 14th. Is that a Monday?
Is that a Monday? It's a Monday.
Yeah, it's August 14th. We don't know full details yet. It does not sound like we'll be able to send a whole lot of people. I do know that if you are interested in going, you will have to have at least one vaccination and you will have to have a at-home COVID test to go. This is the first time that the kids have been back and they're just trying to be very preventive. I don't even think that the kids will necessarily be coming down into the shelter like they have in the past. I think they don't know yet. They're still trying to iron it out. But as soon as I know more, I'll let you know.
Appreciate it.
Pencil it on if anybody's interested.
All right, thank you. Also want to announce our half-lit golf tournament is on September the 8th. Make sure you save that date. We'll be getting out little brochures and emails and everything, getting ready for it sometime this up and coming week. Also, I want to talk about, we had a great time at our baseball game, the Cardinals night out in the fireworks. We did get rained out in probably about the 4th or 5th inning, but it was still had a great turnout of Rotary people from both sides of Fort Wayne Rotary and Warren County Rotary. And we only had 3 people end up in jail. There was only one of our members, was in jail.
But I was in there with the chief of police, so.
She was in with the chief of police, so it probably all worked out. And I wanted to thank Rick for the great 4th of July we had at his house. We invited all the members to share that with him and had a heck of a display. He's competing for the town. Might put the town out of business next year. Just a joke. Anyway.
Bring it no back.
We should talk about my rate.
All right, let's see here. Attendance report.
All right. President Ken, fellow Rotarians, today we have 25 members and 4 guests. Laura, do you want to introduce your guests?
President Ken, fellow Rotarians, my guest is Heidi Rutz, and she is the business teacher at Warren County and also the co-advisory for Warren County High School DECA.
And Emily?
President Ken, fellow Rotarians, my guest today is my son Olin. He's 14. He was working for me at the dealership today, and I said they need help eating all this pizza, so I grabbed him and so we can do what 14-year-old boys do best.
Okay, Michelle Ross, you want to introduce your guest?
I guess you were my guest today. We didn't know that, but this is Scott Arthur. He's with the Winchester Club, and he's the Area 1, is it assistant governor? No, just Area 1 governor, this year's governor.
That's enough.
Yeah. And there was wonderful to meet him today. I'm having melting pot pizza, so he can get the great day.
He loves the donuts too. We brought the donuts for him.
All right, so Ken was going to introduce Scott. So is there any
Get
other
him
guests
one,
that came today? Amy. Yes.
All right, I brought with me today Lori Cockrell, who has been a Warren County educator for 34 years. So she's born and raised here in Front Royal. She's got deep roots. And she is also the first female mayor of Front Royal. So,
Yeah. Program speaker, it's me. I was hoping somebody else would show up, but yeah. So anyway.
Get up there and make up stuff for you.
Yeah, we can make up stuff. So this year, our theme is create hope in the world, and everyone should have one of these little pins here next to them. If they don't have extra ones here, please get one when you leave. This is I love this theme, because it's one of those themes where hope is all that someone has sometimes. This is it. It's all you have is hope. So it's a cool theme. Couldn't be more excited to be here this year for that. I come here today to talk about my goals, and some of my goals is youth sponsorship. I want to try to do a lot of support and sponsorship with the youth sports and trying to get Rotary's name out there more in that part where I want to say everywhere you go, you go see Rotary. So youth sports would be a big one that I'm trying to concentrate on this year. One of the things also is like club membership. So our goal is 83 members at the end of the year. So that's not a big number, but we usually, unfortunately, lose members also. So what we're trying to do is get at least 2 new sponsored members this year. That would make us even, and the additions we need will help us achieve our goal of 83. So some of the things that you can help with that would be invite a guest to the meeting, invite a guest to one of our functions or one of our fundraisers or whatever we have out going on if we're having a social. Inviting these people is going to help us build membership, because most of the people in here, their first time around wasn't coming to Rotary just to be a Rotarian. It was to visit the club or to maybe help someone else out with a fundraiser. So that's one of the things I wanted to try to get is everybody try to at least find one person this year. Even if it's not a person that you think that they're not going to join, you know what, maybe they may change your mind. I joined 3 years earlier than I planned on joining something. So people change their minds all the time. And so we're going to try to build up the club and get more members and help keep our members. I would really love to get some of our R85s a little bit more back into the club. I'm going to try to promote something where we can maybe get them at least to come in maybe once a month or so on, just try to get them back in, because most of them have been a very important part of our club, building our club, and I just want to get them back into it. Another goal is about service participation. That's going to be another one that's going to really be a big deal. We have a great club, but I want every single person in our club to be a part of a committee or volunteering or something to help out. So I'm going to look through the list of people, and then if I don't see your name anywhere, I'm going to plan on calling you just to see how you're doing. I do want to get everybody involved and get them back into being a Rotarian and enjoying the club and seeing how much you're missing on volunteering, because you can't get more enjoyment out of anything than volunteering. I mean, the enjoyment of that is awesome. One of my other goals is a simple one. It's Pints for Polio. That's one of the goals we have to achieve. Talk Journey to me was so much fun. Can't wait to do it again this year. What it was during the Derby, Kentucky Derby, and had a fundraiser where we went around to each bar and restaurant and had fun, had a lot of fun. And so our goal was $3,000 for our Polio Plus, but achieving that, we would achieve $9,000 with the match. I think we'll probably exceed that, because our first year at the it rained, it was pouring down, rain like terrible, and somebody still has my umbrella. It's missing. Someone took my umbrella. But Laura was nice enough to loan me hers. So thank you. But anyway, that's a good one. That a lot of fun, and hopefully we see more Rotarians are participating. Service projects. So we got a lot of service projects, but I'm going to be looking, and I'll go down the list of the projects and stuff, but we're going to be looking for some more service projects, and not really huge ones, but more little mini ones that will get our name out there, and something that will be done, in a matter of a day. Maybe it's preparing a meal for some club that doesn't.
The thermal shelter.
Thermal shelter, yes. Thermal shelter would be a great one. The House of Hope would be another great one. So it may be something similar that easy that we do, but I want to get some mini little ones, because I think more getting out there more and more is going to get you more volunteering, and the more you do, the more you want to do. So we'll still, of course, have our Camp Fantastic. Hopefully that'll be up and running this year. Juvenile diabetes research, that walk that we have for that. The Salvation Army ringing the bell is not a good one. I know that the pancake people beat us out on that one, but we're going to take them down this year. It's true they did this. Doc Smith for Christmas baskets. That's a great one, and it's been great for a lot of years, and Lizzie really helped make some changes to that. So that's great. When you make changes to something to help improve it, we're all in. Just like criticism, I'm all in for criticism. I'm new at this. Any type of criticism would be great, because I know I'm going to need help. But that's the awesome thing. If you do criticize, I want you to give me either a solution or willing to help solve the solution. So, Rise Against Hunger. Road cleanup is a big one for me. I'm going to be definitely, if anyone knows me, every day I walk my dog, I clean up the neighborhood throughout the whole time. I usually get about half a bag of trash. So I'd love to see our town look a lot prettier than it does right now. Day of Caring. They'll kind of go with a couple other ones that we're planning on too. Group Study Exchange and Bloodmobile is a great one too. I don't think we've done a blood drive for a little while. One of the other projects I want to talk about is the grant that I put in for a grant for $8,000. The district, it's $4,000. We put $4,000 in the district amount matches that grant, and that's called the Osage Project. And the Osage Project is we're teaming up with Habitat for Humanity, and what we're going to do, we're going to be given the appliances for these 3 houses that they're going to provide for these families. So 3 of these families, all 3 of the families are a couple with 3 kids, okay? And just to tell you a little bit about one family, and I know anybody was here 2 weeks ago knew I told about it, but one of the families is a 5-person family that lives in an efficiency apartment. So if you just try to think about that, you got 5 people living in one space. So, that's a huge, we can change your life forever. And that's really, I'm pretty big on this. The other good thing about that is that we will also partner up with them. And so you're going to have to get your tool belts out and your paintbrushes. We can help out with them on clean up. Anytime we go there, it'd be like, I know some of the stuff like framing, drywall, people think, well, I don't know enough like that. There'll be people there that we can help, or there'll be people there that we can learn from and so on. But, they're going to need like labor people and people to clean up and stuff like that also. So we're going to help with that. It's going to be one of our projects. The also good thing about that is our Rotaract, people that's 16 and older can also be a part of this. We're planning on making them a part of this also. They will, if they're, I'd look at details, but I think if you're under 16, you may be okay if you're there with a parent. But I'll have to look back into that. So get your paintbrushes ready for that. And by far, anybody that knows me, this will be the last one we're talking about, is social activities. That's by far my favorite. So talking for people is not my cup of tea, but social activities are. So I'm planning on having a social activity every month. It's not going to interfere with any of our meetings. We're going to still have every meeting on Fridays like normal, but I'm planning on having some type of fun activity that we can meet once a month. Maybe it's throwing axes, maybe it's going bowling, maybe it's just going to the park for a picnic. But that's really what I'm going to be planning on is social activities to bond our relationship among everybody. So one of the other things that this is pretty much the end of my meeting, except for, it's like one of the things I want people to remember is, what are you passionate about? And what do you think is the first thing in the morning when you get up, and what is something that you want to change in the community or maybe even in the world? That's what a Rotarian is. So I'd love for anybody to give me new ideas of some things that we can do. Because I want to be the year of doing. That's really what I want to be. And I want to be fun. And if anybody remembers the Fun Bunch, I want us to be called the Fun Bunch. Because it's a lot of fun. All right, and saying that, my meeting is over the ending of the raffle drawing. Somebody's getting $10.
All right, 201298.
Good job, Malcolm.
Welcome.
Are you doing Happy Dollars?
Oh, I forgot. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cue cards.
I assume Rick is happy.
I skipped it. You go around for $100.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. See what these guys do? They help you out all the time. Hey, time for some happy dollars.
All right,
Yeah.
I went to the movies last night. We don't go too often, but I do try to support local. And I was really happy that Rick brought the movie Sound of Freedom to Park Theater. And David and I went last night, and it will overwhelm you. If you have not done some research or been knowing what's going on in the world, the child sex trafficking is a huge issue. And this movie brings it to light in a powerful way. It's heavy, but not, it's not graphic, but it's a very heavy movie, but it's based on a true story. And there's 3 or 4 different times you can see the movie at Park Theater during the day. We went to the 7:40 movie, which was late. But there was more people there than usually is there when we go to the movies. But I don't know what our Rotary Club could do. That hope is part of our mission for this next world, is create hope in the world. And a lot of these kids that are coming across our border now are unsupervised, and they're going with sponsors who nobody can find the sponsors after they come into the USA, and that really disturbs me. What could be happening to these children coming across our own borders? The movie mostly focuses what's happening in Mexico and the cartels and all that crazy, awful stuff that's happening. It is a huge industry, about $150 billion industry. I mean, you put all the NFL teams together and you barely touch that with the amount of money that they raise. So people want this. And USA is the most child trafficked, sex trafficked country in the world. Doesn't that hurt your heart to know that USA?
Is it I-81 known as one of the main thoroughfares for this?
It's here. It's here, and it's here. I don't know what we can do, as Rotarians, as community, but go see this movie. Let it open your head, your eyes. Kids can even, maybe older kids. I'm looking to you. I don't think I'd take my 7-year-old to see it, my grandson. But we need to open our eyes to what's happening. And we need to do something. We need to create hope in the world. This is our mission this year. I don't know what we can do as a club, but hopefully we can bond together and find something good.
Past President Lori just texted me and said we joined the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery. Apparently there's a Rotary Action Group for that we should talk about.
I was gonna say, I'm guessing somebody in the area does trainings on recognizing signs of trafficking, so that we would all know what to look out for when you're out and about.
So let me give you I have $5. I'm gonna do a sad one. I'll piggyback on it, but then I have some happy stuff. Amelia, Stano, I think is her name. She's a colleague of mine. She's a good district governor-elect from the district next to us in Manassas area. She is very involved in the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery. So she can certainly live in Manassas, Warrenton. I'll get her to come and speak, and she'll come and talk to us about the RAG group and what we can be doing as a club. And I would support. I can't wait to go and see that movie next week. Jim Cavill's in it from Crucifixion or Passion of Christ. So it's I can't wait to see it, and it is devastating. But on happier notes, then I get the privilege of going to a accepted student tour at Virginia Tech on Tuesday. And this afternoon I'm leaving for West Virginia to go for a family reunion on my dad's side of the family. So that'll be fun. And we're right down there by Blacksburg. We'll be going whitewater rafting on Sunday. And one of the other credentials that we didn't mention about Lori was not only was she one of my teachers, one of my kids' teachers, she was also a babysitter of mine when I was in school. So I don't know what that says about Lori, but we were very.
They got in the wrong road. I said to Evie earlier, I say, there's not a lot of young people here, are there? And I forgot what all of them.
Yeah. Well, mainly because my sister's 8 years younger than me. I was the older one. I didn't need a babysitter.
I'm gonna just add on that also, because just like most of the 500,000 people, kids in the United States vanish every year, almost 500,000. So just think about that number, and probably a big number was right there. And so I want to add that.
Rick, it's not just girls, it's boys.
I know,
Little
I meant
boys.
that.
They're even
I-
high dollar
I know.
more.
I know. I went to the movie, so just letting you know, I made all three of my kids go out with me, which should be shamed to death. I made all three of them go out, and they seen the movie, and it changed their life. And the first thing that Lauren, my oldest daughter, did when she got off, when you go there, they have a little thing you can QR code, and you can pay for a movie for somebody. So the first thing my daughter did is pay for a movie for someone else. On a happy note, couldn't be happier to be part of this organization and be a president of this club. It just makes me feel great. I know I tease a lot, and I think that, like I talked to her about just taking off, running out the door and not coming back. But I couldn't be more proud of it, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I promise you, I'm gonna make you happy. I'm gonna do things good.
We got some happy dollars. Happy Now was more of a PSA. 2 Sundays ago, got up early in the morning, went outside and did some really strenuous work outside for about 8 hours. Came in, took a quick shower, changed my clothes, grabbed my son, and took him to summer camp drop off down in Madison. Standing outside waiting to go to drop him off, I started sweating. Bad. Got in the car. Next thing I know, it'd been 15 minutes. I'd passed out. My wife and son were there. The camp nurse was there. Madison County EMTs were already on site when I came through. Put me into the ambulance, IVs in. I passed out a second time. When I came back through, I said, "Are we on a Culpeper or Fauquier?" And she said, "You're getting on a helicopter and you're going to UVA right now. Your blood pressure was 70/40. Long story short, I don't need to bore you with any more of the details, but extreme heat exhaustion, low magnesium, potassium, phase 1 block on my heart, which is a genetic thing that sort of helped kind of create the perfect storm sort of thing. But I've always worked really hard. It's been hard on my body. And as I told several people now, I've always done that, but I've never been a 45-year-old dumbass horse. So just drink your fluids, take it easy in the heat out there. It's a killer. And open my eyes up. So, yep.
So I am happy that we did the Cardinals game, and put Rotary in front of the community, in a partnership with the Warren County
Nice
Club.
sign too.
And I will tell you guys, it was a capacity crowd. Matter of fact,
Yeah, I did not get it.
yeah, no, I barely got in. Barely got in.
So,
And it was like 1 out, 1 in, 1 out, 1 in. And so it was an amazing night at the Bing, and amazing for the Cardinals, amazing for Rotary and the other sponsors. And so I encourage you guys to get there next year or for some of the remaining games, and get there early.
Great bunch of kids. We met a few of them.
Yeah.
Great bunch of kids. I guess they're adults.
I have a happy dollar. I am on the board of directors with Connected Communities, and they also do a lot of counseling for sex trafficking victims, be it sex or just straight up human trafficking. I also may have one other connection to someone in Northern Virginia, so I am more than happy to help spearhead some of that. I'll go ahead. I feel so mundane and even saying when I'm happy, but I've got $5 in my pocket. It's going to burn a hole if I don't put it in there. But what everybody's talking about, this seems rather basic, but I'm happy because all my kids and my husband are gone next week. But they're going to camp.
When's the party?
They're going to camp, and my husband's volunteer camp chaplain that week, and they're doing the thing. So it's just me, the lab, and a very poopy puppy at home. So yeah, we'll see if I'm happy next week.
Sounds like a Rotary social.
I will miss them.
Do you have a pool too? Do we have a pool as well?
No, we do not, but yeah, but we do have lots of food in the backyard.
Well, I'm happy. My wife has been gone for a week and she's coming home today, so that's a good thing. But I put a couple bucks in to wish Ken a great year. You've got a great board, and you will be successful, I can assure you. And the other happy buck is my oldest granddaughter started her new job she just graduated from Florida State. She is now a member of the working class out in the world.
I'm gonna have to vent about mine, but so I noticed something when we did the installation, and for those of you who know me know that I was basically born a feminist. And I noticed that that was all women standing up there. And it brought back a conversation I had with Mark Jacobs and his wife at one of the dinners. And at that time, when Mark joined, women were not allowed to join Rotary, right? So I don't know at what point they changed the rules here.
89.
89?
Supreme Court case.
I was in college. Anyway, so I'm very proud of this club for having such a strong female leadership. And I never thought I'd say this, but maybe we need to balance things out a little bit. But yeah, I'm very proud of the women that we have in this club and the roles that they've taken on. And I'm very proud of Kemi too.
You know, I had a flashback. I used to, in the early years, sit with Sam Zuckerman and some of the old guys. And when Anita was president, I remember saying, I'm not sure women ought to be in Rotary. Okay? But I also remember at year end, Sam saying, you know, she did a good job this year. So it took a while for it to sink in, but I just had that flashback and remembering that. And I'll tell you, if we didn't have women in this world, we would be suffering a lot. Thank you, women, for what you do.
You wouldn't be died out.
Yeah.
All right, I'm happy that I got to carry this bucket around and hear your happy thoughts and also things that you care about.
All right, cool. All right, our next meeting is July 14th at the Community Center, and that will be in regards to the inland port. On July the 22nd, Ignite, this new app, if you haven't downloaded it yet, I've been playing with it. I think it's gonna be pretty freaking awesome. It's gonna help navigate the DAC TV and find other people and stuff. So, and I'm not a tech person, but I think it looks pretty easy, so I think I'll be all right. And then July 28th, well, that says Camp Fantastic on July 28th.
They're presenting.
Okay.
Special love is presenting.
All right, special love presenting Camp Fantastic on July 28th. And September the 1st, because since I work so hard, I get another day off. So no meeting on September 1st. That's it. Thank you. Oh, wait, test, I'm sorry. I'll get it down, I promise. Floyd test, things we think.
Things they do. First is the truth. Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Right.
Hit it.
Welcome to the world. One down.